Hello, everybody. Welcome to my weird, wonderful world, and I am back with part three of four. So there's one more episode after this. I know where to stop, so that there's 25 left, so I can do a part. So I can do part four tomorrow. I will most likely do it tomorrow. I wanted to do a video yesterday, but of course, the day gets away from me, and all my good intentions, because I always have the intention of making a video every day if I can, but every once in a while I'll have to skip a day, you know, but I'm always back. I'm always coming back. All right. So there's a couple of things here. A quick recap. So thanks to my wonderful subscriber, and it was Ethan who's said, pointed out that this one here, okay, that's Allman Brothers, and this one here, that's Leonard Skinner. It doesn't change the fact I'm not moving them because know what? I know that they're good. Okay, I know that they're good. So now that I know, yeah, okay, I'm putting them up here, right, to A list. These three here, I had them in B because I'm not familiar with them. Would need to listen to them. I know who they are. I know they have great music. I know they deserve to be a little bit more higher ranked than I was putting them. These I'm happy keeping them in B, okay? Foreigner, I'm happy keeping that in C. But these ones here, I kind of felt guilty. Yeah, these three here, I kind of felt guilty about putting them in B. All right. Now, also before I continue, there's five of them in particular in here that I'm going to get out of the way right away because I'm not sure exactly who they are, and I should. I'm looking at the pictures and I see even like for example, this one here with Burn. Okay, I'm going to put this up. Okay, I'm also going to put this right at the end here, okay? Because I know I should know it, okay? But it is so tiny. The picture is only like 2 centimeters by 2 centimeters, squared. And no, I see the title of the album, it says Burn, okay? I probably could have Googled that and probably would have seen what came up, but I recognize the album cover. I heard it spoken on multiple channels, wonderful channels, too numerous to but I never actually heard this album ever. Okay, same. So I have no idea who it is. That's why right now. Okay, until I that's where you guys come in. Down in the comments below, I want you to, of course, let me know who they are so I can do a little bit more of a proper ranking so that tomorrow when I come back, when I come back tomorrow and do this, hopefully you let me know that this group here for this album is blah, blah, blah. And then the next one here, is this one here. I I want to say this is Paul McCartney. I want to say it's Paul McCartney. If I'm getting this wrong or whatnot, okay, because I know I've seen it. I know I've seen them talk about it. I've never actually ever listened to the album, so I can't remember. It doesn't really say that not in any. I can't see really, so I'm gonna put that again right here for now. Okay, it's just temporary until it's identified. Once somebody identifies that one, same thing with Burn here. Once you identify those for me, I can probably put them either in A. They'll probably would go in A, like I just did with Leonard Skinner, Bad Company. 'Cause I thought about it, I should look, and again, I haven't gone and sampled any. I've been busy. I haven't gone back to sample any Bad Company, so I'm not sure what it sounds like. So I'm gonna put that right here because I know what Leonard Skinner sounds like. I know what I know. I mean, I know what the Allman Brothers sound like, and I know what Leonard Skinner sounds like. So, yeah, they're good in the A because I know they're spectacular. They probably after I listen to them more, same thing with everybody in A. If I know if I actually own those eventually and I listen to them more, because I don't own any of those. So once I do and listen to it, yeah, then I could rank them higher. AC/DC, Back in Black. Oh yeah. Well, definitely is not better than any of the Bon Scott stuff, so it can't go any higher than Power Rage for sure. Okay, Bonds because Bon Scott is better. Um, yeah, okay, I do like it better than the Deep Purple. I do like it. You know, it goes to show that I put Prince. Look at it. I put Prince and I put Fleetwood Mac up higher than the AC/DC, even the Dio and the Doors and some Pink Floyd. You know how because I remember it, again that more or less comes from the nostalgia of when those came out and how much like how much more after repeat listens how much I like these albums like especially the Fleetwood Mac, even the Purple Rain, those two albums, yeah, in their own unique way, you know, keep getting so much better, so much better. I mean, with the Van Halen here, okay, I'm not going to go into too much analytics. I have my reasons. I shouldn't try to explain. Like I said, I'm a Gen Xer. I grew up in the Maritimes here in Canada. Most of my knowledge was from either from radio, what was in the house, like with well, I know Aerosmith is good. Okay, Aerosmith. As much as I like you guys, I'm still gonna put you. I'm putting you at the end here. Um, right, right, no, right there. Yeah, it'll go just a little bit above. Yeah, higher than Guns N' Roses, lower than Rainbow. All right. Well, Milo, bad hell. As I still love it. I still love it. It was it's so like it's one of those. It's in the top 10 most nostalgic albums for me. I should do a video. The top 10 most nostalgic albums. Yeah. I think that's a good idea. That'll be coming up later. All right. I do love this. I do like this album. But is it better than AC/DC? Not really. Deep Purple. I'm more familiar with this one album than I am with the Deep Purple. And I've played this way more than I ever had Deep Purple. But I still really like the AC/DC and everything above it better. So no, I think it's gonna go right there. Yep. Okay, continue. Billion Dollar Babies, Alice Cooper. Let's get you up here. Epic stuff. You see how many is going in the S tier, right? And oh yeah, that has to go up higher. You know, and just as high as Kiss, right? Is okay. Do I like Alice Cooper better than Kiss? Well, I was a huge Kiss fan growing up in my preteens, like my adolescence, from the age of I say the age of like 3, 4 to the age of probably 11. I would say, yeah, Kiss was my favorite band more than Alice Cooper was. But in recent years, I'm really appreciating Alice Cooper a lot more than Kiss nowadays. I mean, I like Kiss, but now I kind of see what people were talking about. That's another discussion for another time, also. Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna put here, because I can't really argue with anything above because the Jimi Hendrix is legendary. Beatles always gotta get ranked up high enough because I do love them and revere them. Because remember, it's the greatest. Greatest. It's right there in the title. Okay, so I gotta keep that in consideration. And of course, how often I've heard it. Boston, Boston. That goes in the A tier, but I'm putting it right here after Thin Lizzy. Between the right, well, kind of. No, it has to be right there, right. See, behind Thin Lizzy, but ahead of Springsteen. Yeah, because I'm more familiar with this Boston album a little bit more than I am with that Springsteen album. Dire Straits, my Brothers in Arms. Yeah, I always want to call it Money for Nothing, but no, it's called Brothers in Arms. Such a great album. Again, this is an S tier album. So many in the S tier. Now, where am I gonna put that? That does get a high marking. It's somewhere in the middle here. Oh. Um, just above Fleetwood Mac, because I love every song on that. There's not a bad song on that. Some people say, oh, it has just maybe three or four good songs. There's no bad song on this album. By the time that it creeps up to the beautiful, soulful playing of Mark Knopfler on the title track of Brothers in Arms, you know, ah, he has a style all of his own. I do still really love this whole album. I mean, I still love even the I think a saxophone in Your Latest Trick. I love it's probably one of my favorite saxophones in a on an album of all time in many respects. I love that. All right, let's continue. Oh yes, I was like I said before I continued on with my rankings. I was going to get rid of the ones I'm not sure of. Okay, Cream here. I'm not sure of that. I'll put it in the A, of course. I don't know. I'm going to put it. I've heard Cream. I like Cream. So they're actually going to go ahead of. No, I need to hear it, but I am aware of Cream. I like everything I've heard from Cream. That does get a little higher. It does. I mean, A. Look at A. A is excellent. You know. I mean, it may not be S, which I consider that special. S as meaning special. It just has that little extra kick of nostalgia or whatever. But I do like. Yeah, I think it is better than Boston. Is it better than Thin Lizzy or the Well, it goes there. It goes there. I like Cream. I do like Cream. Oh, Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. I do like it. I mean, I haven't heard it. I haven't heard it many times, but the one or two times that I have heard it, I'm pretty sure I only heard it like once or twice. But I did love it. I did love it. I mean, but how high should I? It is, well, of course, S tier, but how high am I going to rank that? I mean, some again, nostalgia factors kick in. It has to come. It has to go be. I know some people are going to be like, no, put it higher, put it higher. It's the greatest album of all time. Again, this is sorry. I keep drifting out of the camera here. uh, so here's my face. All right. No, it's just again, it's from my perspective of what I grew up on, what was in my my line of sight and what was in my peripheral, and Dark Side of the Moon was just a little bit more on my peripheral than it was in in my target sights, know, or come to appreciate more, I still appreciate it more than this stuff under it, but this stuff is still isn't it? It's all still in the S tier. Consider that they're still all 10 out of 10s. Now again, I don't. I'm still unfamiliar with this David Bowie album. I'm not. What's the name of that one? See, I can't see what the name of it is, so I'm not quite sure. Wait, let me see. Oh, that's Aladdin Sane. Aladdin Sane, yeah. So, yeah. Again, I'm not familiar with it. but I know he's legendary and I love him, so he has to be in the S tier. But just because I have to hear this album in its entirety, which I have never done. Okay, I'm not. I can't even tell you what's on it because I have never. I've never heard it. But I just putting him in the S tier in respect because I know he's a 10 out of 10. I just have to experience that 10 out of 10. That's the only reason why he's at the end of this list. Okay, so don't crucify me for this. Okay. Now I just bought their Pyromania, which of course I put in S tier. But do I actually? And I'm going to put it right next to the other Def Leppard, of course. But do I like Hysteria better than I do Pyromania? Uh, you know what? I like them about equal, okay, but I am going to put Pyromania ahead because, of course, this was the I believe that was the first album I ever heard of them. I mean, there's other stuff. I think what was it? Was it Rock of Ages? The first. I think that might have been the first video, the first song that ever got on my radar of Def Leppard. All right, moving on. So we're yeah, we're still continuing. I'm keeping track. This now hunky dory again. I'm sorry. I have to put you at the end here, but so yeah, they're in no particular. These Bowies are no particular order. It's just that I know he's awesome. That's why they stay in S tier. But I need to listen to them. I've never heard those Bowie albums. I mean, the only one I have is Ziggy Stardust, which where did I put that? Yeah, it's right here. So you can see it's higher on the list, right? Mm, because I know what it is, and I do actually like it. It is S tier, and yeah, but I find, of course, some of the other stuff above it is a little bit more rocking, a little bit more nostalgic. I just only recently, you know, gotten and played the Ziggy Stardust. But of course, yeah, I loved it. This is Toys in the Attic, right? So I know this is good. Okay, it goes in S tier, but it's not going as high as you would think. It's I'm going to be consistent with this kind of and put it next to the rocks, but I know it is the better one. So yeah, it goes above rocks. So yeah. White Snake. White Snake, you go you go next to I'm sorry, I'm not a big White Snake fan. Same thing with Foreigner, but I do kind of like White Snake better than Foreigner. Okay, yeah, I do like White Snake better than Foreigner for sure. Now, British Steel, Judas Priest. I need this album. I have mentioned that in a previous video that I do need this album. I still have one more episode of my iconic albums, that I need to. Well, you'll see. It's a special edition to my iconic album. It's the last video for the series, but I just wanted to do this tier list first before I continue with that last episode. But there's still one more coming. Just want to let you guys know about that. So I'm almost at the end where I'm gonna have. I got wait. How many more I have to go? Six, seven, eight, eight. Yeah, eight more. Eight more to go, and and then I'm gonna call it for this one, and then we're going to come back tomorrow for part four. That's tomorrow. This is part three. Oh yeah. Okay. Led Zeppelin 4. Yeah. Everybody calls it 4, but it is technically, I would say, the self-titled album. But 4 works just as good. Oh yeah. Do I like it better than 2112? Uh, it is good. It is good. Uh, mm, yeah, yeah. Uh, 2112 though. Is it good? Is it better than the debut? Again, these are very easily interchangeable. Okay, I am just kind of putting it randomly here. They could be very equal. I'm putting it right. No, I'm putting it ahead of that debut. It is a. It. I mean, they keep getting more polished as they go along. In fact, I kind of feel bad about putting like no before Rush there was Led Zeppelin, okay, and Rush, I know the in Cleveland, the very first time they heard Rush, they said, "What is this new Led Zeppelin? Is this a new Led Zeppelin?" They were mistaken for Led Zeppelin. So Led Zeppelin deserves to be a little bit higher. Sorry, I do like the Iron Maiden better. Of course, I do love Physical Graffiti. That is my favorite Led Zeppelin album. And then, of course, hey, Black Sabbath. Black Sabbath kind of really started it all for the heavier rock genre. I mean, say what you will about some of the Beatles tracks, like like Revolution, and Twist and Shout and Helter Skelter. Those those contributed, but it didn't the real seed of metal was started really with Black Sabbath. So that's why that has to get up there. So yeah, I'm gonna put this up here behind. Yeah, it has to go there. So it's four, the debut, and then two. Okay, let's continue. Notice that Zeppelin, Zeppelin. I don't see. See, I don't see Zeppelin 3 up here. That would be in the S tier. I'm not sure exactly where. I do like Zeppelin 3, but it doesn't. It's not considered one of these greatest albums of all time. Go figure, eh? Thin Lizzy. Thin Lizzy. It's an album I've never heard, okay? But it is an epic album, right? So let's go put it up here somewhere. Um, it has to go lower on the list, of course. I'm gonna have to, just because I'm unaware of it, I don't know it. I'm gonna. Uh, well, I do. You know what? I have Thin Lizzy here again for the same reasons. Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna put it in A again with multiple listens. I'm gonna put it now again. I don't know whether Jailbreak is better or the Live is better. Again, I've never heard them. It's just that I know that I do like the music, but I'm unfamiliar with it. Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking of going to put that in S because it does kind of belong in A for me. So all these albums here, I need to hear more. I need to hear more. Um, I'm actually gonna. No, I'm fine with that order. I'm fine with that order. Again, with these two here, once they're identified. So, yeah, the last one here that I haven't identified. No, there's two more actually. Yeah, again, I should get those out of the way now. Is this one here? I have no idea what that is, right? So if somebody, I'm going to put it in again. I'm putting it in B tier only because I have no idea what that is. Same thing with where is it? There's another one here. This one here, I don't know what that is. I can't really identify what that is. So that is another. So these last four, the Burn one here, this one here, which I think is Paul McCartney. That's the only thing that's coming to mind. But again, if I'm not certain, so I don't want to venture any further. So tomorrow I will make a correction. I will put them where they do, and once I'm identify who they are, okay. Oh, Metallica Black Album. Yeah. Wait, is there? Oh, so there's Master of Puppets right there. Okay. It is S tier. It is up there. It's going up. It's going up. Mm. Yeah. Oh gosh. Uh. Yeah. Yeah. Weird that I'm putting more. Weird for me personally that I'm putting it, behind Motorhead and ahead, just ahead of the Blizzard of Oz, and the Beatles and some classics. But it's still iconic. It's still iconic. I have some really fond memories of this album, even though I was, technically disappointed. And it is the album that bumped them off of my favorite band of all time status, because of this album. And because I felt they, you know, no, I don't care what they say, I don't care what other fans say. How I interpreted this album when I first heard it, they sold out. You can tell that it was the sound. It was the sound. It was like there was a certain polishness. They lost their thrash metal edge. It was like, no, I was hoping to hear something more akin to, like, to Ride the Lightning or Master Puppet, you know, or even something comparable to uh to Injustice for All. But it kind of like, yeah, no, no, there was something personality wise. But taking Master of Puppets, okay, which is next here. I know I'm dragging this out again. I can't make a short video. I was hoping it would go a little bit faster, but no, it's me. I drag them out, but it's all good. Master Puppets, yeah, Master Puppets. Ah, I know. Master Puppets. It's Master Puppets. I mean, that was pretty seminal. I mean, this is the album that made them my a favorite band. They were my second favorite band. Kiss was my first favorite band, but look how low they are, compared to where this album of Metallica. Like they were so far above what, because Kiss was my favorite band. They just took off their makeup not too long, okay? So maybe in about 2 or 3 short years, I was in limbo. I had no favorite band. There were things I liked a lot, but I was in limbo. And then in about 80, yeah, in 86, when my friend brought out that cassette and said, "You want to hear some Metallica?" And it's like, yeah, I thought the cover was cool. Yeah, and I was hooked. So that's why that has to go there. And two more, and then I'm gonna call it. Then I'll have 25 left. So never mind the Bullocks. Iconic and epic, and it should have been mentioned in my iconic albums series. That was one that kind of got under the radar. That was not mentioned. It should have been mentioned. If I have not mentioned "Never Mind the Bullocks" by the Sex Pistols, you know, it should have been mentioned. No, okay. It is up there. It is up there, but I'm putting it right. I know some people are saying, "No, it should be higher, it should be lower." I'm putting it right there, right behind Brothers in Arms, and right ahead of Fleetwood Mac. So okay, and now 10. My memories of this album, from the videos, from Jeremy to Even Flow to Alive, and then that story I had told about hearing two particular songs when I first heard "Release Me" and "Black," and how I came to hear those songs for the first time. That whole trip of it. Yeah, again, I should tell that story again, but tell the whole story. Now, where did I put? Where did 10 go? There it is. 10. 10 was pretty epic. 10 was pretty monumental. So it's up here, okay? Now, do I actually like it better than You know, I actually certain I like Beatles more. All the Hendrix stuff is more iconic and I like it better. Um, Pearl Jam 10. Uh, ah, it's such a hard list. You know, again, this is so loosely ranked here. Any of these could be so easily mixed around in a different order. I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna put it there because I still remember the first time hearing that Van Halen album. Okay, both of these, uh, they're epic. They're epic. So they have to go there. So that's it. That's 25 left to go for tomorrow's episode. We're already at the 30-minute mark, so I'm just not gonna go through my normal tirade. I'm just gonna go and let you go. So everybody. Be safe. Take care. Take a look at what's all in the S tier right there. You know, try to see it's so much I can't even fit it all in there. That's how big it is. That's what she said. Okay. Yeah. So everybody have a great day, evening, morning, night, or afternoon, wherever you may be. Tune in tomorrow for the last part of this, and yeah, have a great. Well, be safe. Take care. I will see you on the flip side. Peace, everybody.